So I
Thank you
welcome
so
you
much.
all to my webinar on leveraging Zoho One for backend business operations. So the agenda that we have set for today is to have a quick recap on the first webinar, and then we would follow it up with today's topic, how Zoho One and its applications can be efficiently used to streamline backend business operations. And that would be followed by a question and answer session, and we would find up for the day. So on the first webinar, we were able to see a real life use case of a travel management company, how they were able to set up the operations post-COVID. So we all know once the lockdowns were taken down, for our own safety, government had few restrictions. So we are not allowed to travel anywhere. So that's when the business used this opportunity to make arrangements to travel to other places. So they started using sites and later get on to the other application that is being offered on Zoho One to streamline their front end of business operations. So on the first webinar, we were able to see how the company was able to create a beautiful website which improved their online presence, and the customers or the prospects were able to access the service that they offered 24/7 on various devices. They were also able to integrate forms into the website to generate leads. Since when we come across a new business or a company, the first thing that we do is to go online and check if they have got a website. So since they were able to set up the website in Sites application, they were able to improve the credibility and trust with the customers. So now they started generating leads out of the website. They wanted a tool to manage all those leads, all those customer information at one place. So that's when they started using CRM application. So on the last webinar, we were able to see how they were able to use blueprint feature on CRM application to convert a lead into a contact, and how they were able to convert that contact into a lead. So they were able to define their sales process in CRM application. So now they were started generating leads out of the website and they were able to manage it using CRM application. The conversion rate of leads getting converted into a contact or a deal was much lesser than they anticipated. So they wanted to, look for other sources where they could generate leads. So that's when they started using social application on Zoho One. Prior to using social application on Zoho One, they were posting content on individual applications, social platforms like Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram individually. And it was taking much of the time and much of the resource. But when they started using social application, they were able to post content on all social platforms at one go. They were also able to manage the customer feedbacks, and they were also able to engage with the customers. Now that they started generating leads and the leads getting converted into contacts as well as deal, they wanted to nurture those leads. So they wanted to announce them about the new services that they offer to retain the customer towards the business. So that's when they started using marketing automation. So they were able to design beautiful marketing campaigns and they were able to send it out to their customers by SMS, by email, by WhatsApp. They were also able to automate the process by using the journeys function available in marketing automation. So they were able to also send personalized messages for the customers to wish them on the special occasions, like for birthdays, for their anniversaries, etc. So this in turn increased the customer loyalty towards the brand that they are. So now that they've got a substantial customer base, they wanted a powerful customer support in place to address all customer queries. So that's when they started using desk application. So we have shown you how they were able to create departments in desk application for various support groups that they had, like sales, inquiry, renewals, cancellation, etc., with their unique individual support email addresses. So they were also able to configure the help center in desk application, where they were able to post articles that the customer can refer to address the basic queries. So we have also seen how they were able to configure bots to schedule meetings without the intervention of a human agent. And they were also able to see how the bot was configured to handle basic queries of the customer. And if they need more clarification, how the same bot was able to redirect them to a support agent. Now that they have organized trips for the customers, they wanted to get feedbacks from the customers. So that's when they started using survey application on Zoho One. So they were able to send out surveys to customer to understand their preferences. And they were also able to identify the opportunities or for improvement or scope of improvement in the service that they offered. They were also able to validate the vendors or the contractors that they used to support the travel arrangements. So now that they have used all these applications to redefine their front-end applications, we have seen all this on the first webinar. So I'll put the link of the recorded webinar or the first webinar on the chat at the end of the session, which you guys can refer. So moving on to today's topic, the company using Zoho One and its application was able to grow from a startup to an established company. And they were able to set up offices in different parts of the country. And they were also able to offer different services and packages, travel packages to the customers. So when they started doing that, they wanted to streamline their backend operations as well. So backend operations are nothing but a system or a process that's put in place to support the core function of the company without having any visibility to the customers. So they were able to streamline the internal communication using Click application on Zoho One. And they were also able to manage their human resources efficiently using the People application on Zoho One. And they were also able to efficiently track all the activities in a process that they followed using the project application on Zoho One. And they were also able to use Books application to handle all their accounting related concerns in the organization. And they were also able to manage their accounts and the password of the various websites that they used to book, to arrange travel, to arrange accommodation for the customers. So we'll be seeing all this application one by one in this webinar. So as I mentioned before, earlier they used to have other third-party instant messaging tool to communicate with each other. But because of the COVID, they started working. Few people were working from home, few people were on a hybrid model, few people were coming to work. So they wanted an effective tool to comprehensively manage their internal communication. So that's when they started using Click on Zoho One. So they were able to direct message with each other. They were able to schedule calls, meetings with individual teams, with individual team members, and they were able to configure their notification. Only required notification would be sent to the concerned team or to the concerned individual using Click application. So since we are looking at a travel management company, and they started arranging travel plans or vacations for a group of people, They wanted a tool to send mass update to the customers. And instead of using other third-party application, they started using the external channel on Click application that we offer. And let's see how that can be done on this short video. So this is the basic home page of Zoho One. So on the side panel, so we are getting onto the Click application. And I'm clicking on channels. And you would have to click on the plus icon to create a new channel. And you're selecting the external. And I'm putting a name, travel updates. And you could add an employee to the channel. And I'm putting a description and I'm going to create the channel. So now let's see how customers can be invited to this channel. So it's just one click away. You just have to type in the email address right here. And you would have to select the email address once it gets populated. And then you would have to click on invite. And once the customer receive a notification on the email, they just have to accept the invite and they would be able to be a part of this external channel even when they are not part of the Zoho One account. So our agents would be able to share travel itineraries or any documents that needed for the customer for their travel. And on Zoho One, we offer 5 external channels per user license on Zoho One. And on each external channel, you can add up to 500 external users. So just imagine just sending out updates to all the customers that you have added at just one go. Now they wanted to integrate Click with other applications so that instead of getting on to Click to initiate a chat, they can do it from whatever application or tool that they are using. So if you could see the screenshot here, they were able to initiate a chat from Books application. And they were also able to integrate Click with CRM, where any data on CRM can be shared with another agent or with another team using the share via Click option that I've highlighted on this screenshot. And they were also able to integrate Click with Desk application to receive instantaneous update about the ticket that has been created. So if you could see on the right side of the screenshot, so the concerned agent or the team would be able to get notified when a new ticket is created or when a new ticket is closed or if the owner has been updated. So I'm just going to quickly show how this can be done right now. So just give me a few minutes. And this is going to be the home page of Zoho One. So the first step would be to create a channel on Click application. So if you could see here, just clicking it here. And since it's going to be for a specific key, I'm selecting the option and I'm going to type renewal. So this channel is for getting notification from the renewals department. And I'm going to select the team here. And I'm going to put a member. And I'm going to create a channel. Now let's get to desk application, how this can be integrated. Get on to settings. And under integrations, I'm clicking on Zoho. And if you could see here, the Click integration is already enabled. I'm just going to get into it. And if you could see here, I've already enabled few notification channels right here. So all you'd have to do is click on edit. And I'm going to select renewals right here. And I'm going to save it. So that's all you'd have to do. So let's see if mail is sent to that specific department email address, how it is getting triggered. So since it's a renewal related query, support with my renewal. Please help me with my renewal date so that I can make the payment. So I've sent it out to the concerned email address. If you could see here, we have received a notification that a new ticket has been created. So any action that's taken on the ticket would be notified on this channel. So that's all about the integrations part that can be done with Click and other applications that's available on Zoho One. So now getting back to this slide. So before getting on to Zoho, they were using third-party email service providers to communicate with the customers. But when they got onto Zoho One, they realized that they already have a Zoho Mail application right on the Zoho One subscription plan. So they wanted to migrate all the emails from the third-party email service provider into Zoho Mail. So I've put up a small video, a short video, so how that can be done. So we are getting onto mail application, clicking on settings, and then on admin. And then we're clicking on a data migration. And we're just going to set up a basic protocol here. Since the migration is going to be from Gmail, I'm putting it as Gmail. And I'm choosing IMAP protocol. And I'm clicking on add. So these are the basic settings. And I've created the protocol. So now I would like to move on to the Gmail side of things. So few settings has to be enabled on the Gmail page, home page. So getting on to settings and under forwarding and POP, the POP has to be enabled. Only then this would work. The data migration would work. So I've already enabled it. And I'm looking for Google app passwords. And it would redirect me to the help document. And from here, you'd be able to generate an app password. So when you're migrating your emails from Gmail to Zoho Mail, it would ask for a password. If you're entering the account password, it wouldn't work. We have to generate the app password to get it working. So we are going to click on users here, and I'm going to add the source email right here. That is test migration travel one at gmail.com. And I'm pasting the app password here. And I'm going to select the destination email address. And then I'm going to click on add. And then we can start migrating the data. You could also choose to select the folders that you would like to migrate. So you can abort and migration using the option that's present here. And once the migration is done, you would get the status as completed where it's displayed as in progress. So that's how the company was able to migrate all the emails from Gmail to Zoho Mail, so that they have all the emails at one place instead of getting back and forth. So since they were able to streamline their internal communication tool or processes, uh, they wanted to streamline their human resource as well. So as I mentioned, they started hiring people, both full-time employees as well as contracts. So the full-time employees, they were able to add to Zoho One using the user license, and the full-time employees were able to mark the attendance using Click or People application by checking in. But they also wanted to track attendance of the contractors. But since they were contractors, they were not able to, get a complete Zoho One user license. So that's when they become aware of the employee profile feature that's being offered on people application. So I'd like to show you how an employee profile would work on people application and how we can track using the feature for contractors or blue collar workers. So I'm getting back to Zoho One UI and I'm getting onto people settings, manage accounts, go to operations. And if you could see here, this are all the full-time employees. And if you could see here, this would be the employee profile user. So I have tracked on few information for this user. And if you would like to mark the attendance, we just would have to search for the name. I've already searched for the name. And I'm going to click on view profile, attendance. So these are all the attendance that has been tracked for this concerned user. You could see here, a few has been tracked right here. The check-in and check-out. So we'd see how this can be done using the kiosk feature that's available on people application. So if you could get on to this settings page, you would have to enable the kiosk feature. And then you would have to get on to the kiosk setup. And then you would have to add login credential for the employee profile using the same email address. So I've already done that. So this is going to be the email address of the employee profile. And I've already set up the password when I initiated the login credential for this concerned user. So when you initiate a kiosk profile here, it would ask you for the email address as well as the login password. So that password would be used to log into the kiosk profile. So once we set it up, it would send out a verification email to the concerned email address, which they would have to accept. So I've already got it here. And I've already accepted the invitation. So let's see how this can be used to track the attendance. So the concerned user would have to get on to the kiosk profile or the portal. It's taking some time. Just bear with me. Yeah. So I'm just going to enter the name of the kiosk that I've set up, Travel One. I'm going to click on next. So they would not have access to any other application or the Zoho One. This would be like a portal access where they can just check in and check out. So since I have updated the picture of the employee profile in people application, so if I click on check-in, it would take the picture and it would check in successfully. And if you would like to check it out, all you would have to do is take another picture and click on checkout. So if you get back to the people application and search for the employee profile, I think I'm already right there. Yeah. Sorry, it's loading. If you could see here, the last check-in was at 8:27 p.m. and the last checkout was at 8:27 p.m. So the travel agency company was able to track the attendance of the bus drivers or the travel guides or travel assistants without purchasing a user license for them by using the kiosk feature and integrating it with the employee profile that they have created for the concerned user. So getting back to the presentation, so they were also able to configure the leave policy from people application, and they were also able to configure the work calendar. A work calendar is nothing but the days that a concerned agent or a concerned team comes in for work. So basically, they are the sales team who get most of the inquiries or most of the requests during the weekends. Uh, so they wanted to configure so that the sales team gets to come in for work from Wednesday to Sundays. So if you could see here, for this specific work calendar, both Saturdays and Sunday has been marked as weekend. So what we'd have to do is we'd have to select Monday and Tuesday for the requirement of the travel agency. So other days would be considered as work days. So if any checkbox is left unchecked, it would be considered as a work day. And since the travel company was able to get customers from all over the world, they wanted people to be on different shift to handle customer queries from different countries. So they were able to do that using the shift feature that's available on people application. And since each of the work location were following a regional holiday, they were also able to configure the holiday from using this feature in people application, where a specific regional holiday would be applied only for a specific location and only for the specific group of people working in that location. And whenever a company hires employees or contractors, we get their degree certificates or different types of documents to do a background verification. So they were able to manage all that documents in one place using the files feature in people application. So the company was able to hire people for various support teams, and now they have got a well-defined process in each departments to carry out the day-to-day activities. So since the company now started offering both domestic as well as international travel packages, but the process remained the same that they followed for both domestic as well as international. So they did not want to manually, create and track the process or the activity every time they arranged a travel plan. So what they did was they started using the project template feature in projects application to create the task or activity that has to be followed by the concerned team. And let's see how they were able to do that using the project template feature in projects application. So I'm just getting on to project. Project templates. So I've already created a template for domestic travel plans. So if you could see here, we would get on to the customer for initial consultation, and we would have customer interaction, and we would understand the requirement, and then we would do a research on the destination and create itinerary. So all this can be used as a task and a subtask. So the trip customization is a task, and below that, the customer feedback would be a subtask. So let's see how a subtask can be created and how a task can be created. All you'd have to do is you'd have to click on add task, and the task can be created. Similarly, if you click on view against the task and scroll down, you already have few subtasks created. And if you'd like to add one more, you could do it here. So since I've already have a template and the international travel package is going to follow the same process. I'm just going to get back and I'm just going to clone it. So it's much easier this way. So instead of putting it one by one, if we just clone the task or the project template, it's much easier. We just have to, give it a different name. So all you'd have to do here is international. Yeah. So let's see how they were able to use the created templates to arrange a travel plan. So let's go and create a new project. So similarly, since I've created a template, so based on the destination, we can choose whether it's a domestic or whether it's an international. So let's go for domestic. And I'm going to put it out for Andaman. Yep. And it will take some time for the task to get populated. So just give it a few minutes. So I'd like to show you how they were able to assign each task to a team or to an individual agent. Yeah. So the initial consultation and enquiry would be handled by the sales team. So I've already put it as sales. So if you'd like to change that up, you could put here as add team, and all the teams that you have created would be listed here. So you could pick one and assign it to them. Similarly, if you wanted to be assigned to an individual user, you could do that over here. Yeah. And the status of each of the tasks can be tracked from this drop down option. So if a task is completed, all you'd have to do is put it on closed, and all subtasks would be subsequently closed instantaneously. So this is how they were able to, reduce the redundant work using the project template as well as using the project task and the subtask that's available in projects application on Zoho One. Now, getting back to the slide. So this is what we have seen, the project template and how the project task has been created. So now they were able to send out customers on travel plans, and they were able to get paid for all the services that they offered. So they want to manage their financial right in on the Zoho One suite of applications. So that's when they started using a books application on Zoho One. Just going to show you how they were able to use books to streamline their financial services that they offered. So I'm just getting on to books. So since it's a travel management company, they offered different travel packages as a service. Say they wanted to track it somewhere so that they would be able to, put a price tag to the service that they offered. So they use the item function right here. And if you click on items, all the services can be tracked with their own pricing. So I've created few items here, like for domestic Andaman, it would cost them 25,000. And if it's for an international London plan, it would cost them this much. And I'll show you how a new item can be created as well. So just click on here and get on to service. And I'm just going to put it as domestic or international. Yeah. Yes. And since it's a service that they offer, we need not track the purchase information. So I'm just going to mark it down, and I'm going to select the pieces here, and I'm going to put a selling price over here. So let's say, since it's an international package, so I'd like to put it as 2,55,000. So based on the items that they have created, they will be able to generate code or invoices, and which can be sent to the customers. So let's see how they were able to send out codes for the services that they offered. So I've created few codes here, and the first thing that the system asks for is the customer name. So if you have already created a customer, it would get it populated on the drop down. If not, you would have to click on customer and then click on new, and then you would have to enter the customer details over here. And then if you can check this option, whenever you create a customer on books application, you could give them access to a specialized portal in which they would be able to log in, and they would be able to see the code or see the invoice or make the payment over there. So let's see how that can be done. So I'm just going to generate a code. So I'm going to do it for Rajesh Kumar, and I'm going to select a salesperson. And this is for the international Hawaii plan you requested. So I'm just going to select the service that we have created. I got it here. Yeah. And if you want to give a discount, that can be added here. So let's see how this is sent. So I'm just going to click on save and send. So the books application itself creates a beautiful code that can be sent. You just have to enter the service and any other information that's required. But the design part is handled by the books application itself. So all you'd have to do is send on click. And since I've got the account already open, let's see how the code is received. Yeah, we have got it here. So I'm just going to click on view code. So it's asking me to sign in because I've already enabled the customer portal for this customer. So I'm going to use the test migration travel one. Yeah. So if you could see, the customer was able to log into the portal, and we would be able to get onto the code right here. And the customer can choose to accept the code or decline the code. So let's see, the customer is declining. So he's asking for a discount. I would like a discount of, let's say, 10,000 or 10K. Yeah. So the business would receive the rejected code right here. So if you could see, I'll just give it a small refresh. See, it has been declined, and we would be able to edit it. So they're asking for a 10K discount. I can change it to rupees, and let's say I'm just giving them a discount of 8,000. I'm gonna send it out. And similarly, they would receive the code just like how we did earlier, and they would be able to accept it using the customer portal. Yeah, we have received the code. So getting back to the invoices, you could convert the send code that they have accepted into an invoice, or you could manually create an invoice from here. So I'm just going to create an invoice for a customer, and so say yeah. So the company also started offering membership plans so that they subscribe to the membership and they can go on n number of trips for a given year. So this concern is customer was looking to get onto the domestic membership plan, so I've selected it for them. So before sending, I'm just include free item. So I'll tell you why I have checked this box for include free item, and I'm saving it as draft. So if you could see here, I've just selected only the domestic membership. I haven't selected anything else in this invoice. So I'm just saving it as draft. And even here, the invoice, it's only reflecting for the domestic membership. So let's give it a refresh, quick refresh. And if you could see here, just like magic, this thing automatically pops up from nowhere. So if you could see, a complimentary food and stay has been added for zero cost. So this has been added as a complimentary for the customer since they have chosen this package. So let's see how this can be configured in Books application. So I've used a script from the GitHub. So I would share this link also. There are so many scripts which can be used to automate different workflows in Books application. So I'm just going to show a small workflow that I've created. So I'm just going to get on to settings and workflow actions, a custom function, and I've already created one. So just clicking on the test. So it would create a space to put in the script. So I've copied and pasted the script here. So I just like to show how we have modified the script to get the given result. So I'm just going to duplicate this thing. So if you could see here, so the first gift slab is between 10,000 and 19,000, and the second gift slab is between 20,000 to 49,000, and the third gift slab is between 50,000 to 3 lakhs. So since the customer that we sent an invoice falls between the third gift slab, so the complimentary stay and the breakfast has been added as complimentary to the invoice automatically. So I'll just show you how we have got this ID. So when we got on to books and created items, so I've created a complimentary food and stay as an item. So if you could see here, an ID is getting populated. So this is the ID that I've copied and pasted it here. So this item would be integrated for the customer if they choose a plan worth between the pricing that we have put up here. So this is how the script works. We just also have to configure a custom field in the invoice. So I'm just getting on to field customization, and I've created a new custom field here. You could see here, I've selected the checkbox. So if the checkbox is selected, it would be considered as true. If not, it would be considered as false. So let's get back to the workflow, how it was used to configure this automation. So getting on to tools. So this workflow would be initiated whenever an invoice is created. So when you create an invoice, and if you select the include free item checkbox, it would consider it as true, and then it would take an immediate action to execute the script that we have put in the custom function. So that's how the complimentary breakfast and stay was added to the invoice automatically. So getting back to the slide. So since it's a travel management company, they're using different booking sites to arrange accommodation, to arrange transportation for the customers, like Airbnb or Book My Trip or Booking.com, so many sites. But the thing was, they had a challenge of sharing the password with the team members or with an agent. So they started looking for a tool where they would be able to share the password securely. So that's when they started using Vault application on Zoho One. So I'll just show you quick walkthrough. So whenever you get onto Vault, uh, even if you're logged in, it would ask you for your master password. So the first time you get onto Vault, it would ask you to set up a master password. So only with the master password, you will be able to log in. So it provides two layers of security for your passwords that you are that you're managing on Vault application. So I'm just gonna yeah. So I was able to create so many sites that the travel company uses to book accommodation or transportation. So I'll show you how one can be created and can be shared with users. So I'm just gonna name it as Travel One. And I'm using my own username and I'm putting a password. And then I'm putting the URL of the website that I'm gonna share. I'm gonna click on save. Yeah. So it will be listed here. So you could save your own personal passwords here, and you could also save passwords or sites that would be shared with users on your organization. So I've created all these sites with the passwords. So let's see how this can be shared. So it lists out a few of the people that's been assigned to Vault application in my organization. So I'm just going to select Shikamaru. Uh, so this is to give uh, access in bulk, but if you want to give individual access, so it can be a one-click login. So a one-click login is nothing but a link would be populated just how it is shown here. And if they click on the link, it would automatically take them to the specific site with the username and the password already listed. So they just have to, click on sign in and they would be able to sign into the site. And view is the concerned user would be able to view the password, but they would not be able to manage it or modify it. So a similar access uh, is modify and manage. It's kind of similar, but in modify you'd be able to change the password, but in manage you just be able to view and manage the password. So this is how they've used Vault application to secure the account and share the password securely with other team members who use it to book accommodation or transportation for the customers. So I'd like to have a quick recap of what we have learned today on the webinar. So we were able to see how a travel management company was able to streamline the internal communication requirements using Click, and how they were able to use people effectively to manage the human resources, to track attendance for contractors or blue collar workers, and to configure work days, etc. And they were also able to streamline the process management, since they've been using a streamlined process which is very redundant and taking much of the time. They were able to use projects and they were able to minimize the time and the resources that they spend on each activity or each task. And they were also able to use books application to manage their accounts receivable, and how they were able to uh, create invoice or create code and send it out to the customer. And we have also seen a beautiful workflow or a workflow rule, how a complimentary stay or a complimentary service can be added to the invoice before sending it out to the customer. We're also able to see how Vault application is used by the travel company to effectively manage their accounts that they use to book tickets or accommodation, and share the password securely. We have come to the last part of the webinar. So if you have any question and answers, if you could just let us know, we'd be able to take it and answer all your queries. Thank you so much.